absences, which, okay. So we got Jeremy excused, and then is John is also missing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then yeah, do we have any guests in the that
Well,
are not?
Mr. Chair, we need to approve the absences, and then we can.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so does anyone want to make a motion to approve the absences?
I'll make a motion to approve the absences.
Any seconds?
I'll second that.
Thanks, guys. Just all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? And now, yeah, do we have any guests that, no observable guests? Any public comments? Guess probably wouldn't be because there's no guests. And then Sharon, would you mind reading the disclaimer?
Sure. Are there any public comments on non-agenda items?
No, there's no public comments at this time.
There you go. Okay. Chapter 16, Section 22 of the City of Kalamazoo Code of Ordinance states, historical preservation is a public purpose. To serve that purpose, the Historic District Commission is hereby charged with the following responsibilities. A, the Kalamazoo Historic District Commission is empowered to regulate work on the exterior of historic resources and non-historic resources in historic districts in the City of Kalamazoo, and shall otherwise have all powers invested in historic district commissions pursuant to the Local Historic District Act, MCLA 399.201, PA 169 as amended 1992. B, to regulate work on resources which by city ordinance are historic or non-historic resources located within local historic districts, including but not limited to the moving of any structure into or out of, or the building of any structure in an historic district. The following documents are available in the Community Planning and Economic Development Department located at 245 North Rose Street. These documents will help assist property owners in understanding the responsibilities of owning property in a local historic district. MCLA 399.201, 1970, PA 169 as amended 1992, the Michigan Local Historic District Act, the Code of Ordinances of the City of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Chapter 16, Historic Districts, the Secretary of the Interior Standards for Rehabilitation and Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings, 1990, and Standards and Guidelines for Kalamazoo's Local Historic Districts, and maps of Kalamazoo's local historic districts. These documents and maps are also available on the City of Kalamazoo website at kalamazooCity.org/historic preservation. I'm going to share my screen so we have the packet. Okay. I need screen sharing.
Thanks for reading that, Sharon.
Okay.
Should be all set, Sharon.
Thank you. And wait a minute. That's it. And here we go. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so starting with the new business, should we, or there is no old business. So
correct. Yep.
Move on from there. The new business, we're going to start with 202 Allen Boulevard. But I just wanted to make it publicly known that because of the shortage of commissioners, we need to come to a unanimous decision when discussing this. So if that doesn't work for the owner, we could always bump this to the next meeting. Is Joshua here?
Actually, we've got from Character Exteriors.
Hi, my name is Colin Winfrey. I'm here
Yep.
for Josh, representing the owners.
Okay. And is that okay with you? That we have to basically vote unanimously?
What's the option for the next meeting?
Well, hopefully, the next meeting we would just have more commissioners here, because basically, any nay would be enough to make it so it wouldn't pass now.
If you had additional commissioners, what would the vote total? How would that work with the vote total?
Yeah, Sharon.
The way that our ordinance reads, that any because this is a quasi judicial action, any decision must be rendered by a majority of the appointed commissioners, not necessarily a majority of those that are present, which means in the case of the Historic District Commission, that a minimum vote of 4 commissioners must be either in favor of or against the motion, whichever one it is, for it to pass. So if you don't get in a unanimous decision today, either way, then there would be, we could bump it down to the next meeting, or you could say, I would just like to move it to the next meeting, which is December 21st.
How many voters, can I ask how many voters there are?
Well,
today?
right now we're missing 2 of our commissioners out of, we're down 1 because 1 resigned and moved out of town. So we would normally have 6 people at this meeting, but today we only have 4. And hopefully the December meeting, we would have all 6.
So either way, we would have to get 4 votes.
Yes, you would have to get a minimum of 4, but if there's more people here, you have more of a chance of getting a majority, even if there is 1 or 2 people that object.
Okay, I think we'll wait for the next meeting.
Okay, and we've got that on a recording. I will probably, tomorrow, I will send you an email to verify that. And then, of course, it'll be the same process we went through this time. You'll get the packet in the mail, and then we will consider it at the meeting on December 21st.
Okay,
Okay?
all right,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
So then, do we have to do any motion or anything to table this one, or do we just move on to the next one?
No, because the meeting is being recorded. Normally, if we were in person, I would have the applicant sign a little note saying, yes, I agree to the delay, but we've got it recorded here, so we have the record in place.
Okay, great. So then we're moving on to 602 Axtel. And then who's, is it the owner? Is it a contractor that's representing them?
I'm the owner.
Okay. Well, great. Yeah, thanks so much for the application. Sharon, do you want to go over it?
I'm going to give a little bit of background, but Elisa's going to give us more. She and her husband bought this house in the Vine Historic District and did not realize it was in the Historic District. And they started working like crazy, worked really hard on it. And they had, by the time I heard about that and we set up an opportunity to meet them, they had already, they've done a lot of the gutting, which of course on the inside is not relevant to the Historic District Commission at all, but they had replaced the triple window that's in what was originally the dining room with a new triple vinyl window, shortening the height just a little bit. And so what we're here today is to consider what remedies there might be for that change. So Alyssa, whatever you want to tell us about what's going on, or, you know, just, it's up to you to talk to the commission as well.
Okay. Like you mentioned, we recently bought the house and we started tearing everything down. It was in really bad shape inside. Like we mentioned, we were not aware that the house was part of a historic district and that we had to follow certain guidelines when it comes to the renovations and like replacing doors and windows and stuff like that. We had already replaced 3 and we had bought all of them already, but you know, since we heard that that was not something that you guys usually approve, we stopped everything and there's just those 3 that are there. So we would be more of a like trying to understand what our options are and how we can make sure that this is, you know, following your guys' like guidelines and all that.
Okay. Yeah. Sharon, like what, have you seen something like this before? And like, what are the options?
Well, I mean, I met with Jorge and Elisa at the house, and we talked about what the options might be. The fact that in those situations, when we do allow a window to be replaced, it has to be a wooden window inside and outside. That vinyl is specifically not allowed in the historic districts. And we discussed the possibility of taking out the vinyl windows that are in there and replacing them with a wooden set that do fit our standards and trimming it all out just to match on the outside. The inside is up to them, but the outside trimmed out to match what the other windows look like. Let me pull back to the pictures again so you get that. This, the original window that was in there was very similar to the triple configuration on the front porch. Okay, so that's what was in there. And so what they have proposed with consulting with me is that they take these three out and put in a set of 3 wooden windows that are trimmed out. They may need to do a little bit of trimming around the edges depending on what they get, but it should be trimmed out to match the other windows in the house with a 1x3 or 1x4, whatever it is, and with a sill along the bottom edge. So that's basically the idea, is that the vinyl would come out, a new set of wooden windows would go in with the proper casing and framing on the outside, and then the rest of the house, they would just repair the windows rather than replace them.
Correct.
Okay, so you still have the original windows?
We only have the middle one. They were all broken, the other 2 on the side. So we have the middle one that has a little like design on top.
The leaded glass in the top. It's a fixed window. The sash does not operate. It's just a fixed window with a smaller light above that's leaded glass with pointed, sort of the Gothic shaped, and the bottom is just one single fixed light. So only the 2 outside windows operate. I think you can just see it in this picture here. You can just see it, that it's the different configuration for the center window, but the others are just standard double hungs.
Can I ask, is the reason for the 3 windows the same? You're trying to increase your airflow? Is the reason you don't want a fixed pane in there? Or is that just the way you could get the window as one whole unit?
We were just replacing because a lot of them, like you can even see on the picture that has the little arrow, like on the top to the left, like a lot of them are broken, they're loose, and it was, for us when we're thinking of renovating, since we were not aware of any requirements, we were just planning on putting new windows in.
So Elisa, I have to say, don't feel bad about that. Like, before I really got into preservation and knowing any better, I bought a historic building and it had really bad windows, and I went through and replaced the windows before I knew any better. And I really regret it now, but you don't know what you don't know. And so, it's a natural thing. Is it possible you can return the windows you've already bought?
The ones that we bought, yes. The ones that are installed already, I would assume no.
Probably not on those, but it is good that you can replace those.
And I suggest donating the 3 windows to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, because there might be someone else that could use them and be absolutely thrilled to find them there.
Right.
So.
And you could also get a small tax credit, for doing that if you got the receipt and everything on that. But like, more than likely, it just seemed the solution though is to just buy wooden windows and install those, in lieu of these, I guess, right, Sharon? Is that the?
Yep, basically that's the idea. Yep. So this is kind of a retroactive. Well, we're not approving it, but it's a retroactive remedy for for a project that was completed without approval in advance. So.
And then, so does that fit your plans? Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then, I don't know. Like, is this something that we would vote on, or is this just our recommendation? Do we approve?
No.
Yeah.
You have to approve.
Yeah. So, does anyone want to make a motion to approve replacing those vinyl windows with wooden replacements? I mean, as written,
I'm happy to make that motion. So I move to approve the installation of a set of 3 double hung wooden windows in the existing opening, altered for the set of vinyl windows. The exterior casing shall be trimmed out to match the casings and sills of the adjacent unaltered historic windows. The proposal complies with the Secretary of the Interior Standards number 6. The commission approves a certificate of appropriateness for this project and approval of any final details to be delegated to the historic preservation coordinator.
Does anyone second that?
I will second that.
All right, well then, when you go to vote, please, we'll do it roll call style, but you have to say where you're located. I guess we should have done a roll call at the beginning of the meeting, but I missed that. So we can slip it in here, but we'll do a roll call vote.
Dana,
Yes, and I'm in Kalamazoo.
Dan,
Yes, and I'm also in Kalamazoo.
Andrew,
Yes, Kalamazoo.
Eric,
Yes, Kalamazoo Vine.
and Sharon, apologize for the delay. My internet was not working.
I almost panicked, but not quite. So what happens now, Elisa, for you is that tomorrow morning I will generate the letter of approval. I will also at the same, and I'll send you a copy attached to an email. And I will also check in with the building department and see if at least my part of clearing your permit, your building permit, will be taken care of. And then you'll still be working out some details with the building officials.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I just have a question. Is there like a timeline for how long the permit is valid for?
The historic district approval is good for 6 months.
Okay.
And it can be renewed with just a phone call or an email. Say, like we didn't quite get it done. Can we have another 6 months? And it just can be renewed. As long as there's no change in what the actual work is, you can just renew it pretty informally.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck with those windows.
Thank you. So do I get off now? Like,
Yes.
what do I do?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, thanks so
If
much.
you want, or you can leave.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can hang out if you want, but you don't have to. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, we have one more, right?
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Well,
And we have to approve the minutes.
yeah.
And then if you guys have any questions for me, so.
Does someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thanks, Dan.
And I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Andrew. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so that passes. Yeah. Is that's pretty much it, right?
That's
I have a
pretty much it.
question
Now, well, I
for-
did put in this one page. I just wanted to show you some progress that we've got. So because it's been such a down year for everybody. It's like we've really seen some substantial progress on a couple of houses that were very badly neglected. And now they are just kind of emerging back out of their, out of their cocoons, especially this one on Allen Boulevard. I mean,
That's great.
and it's not just the trees gone in the front yard. There's been a lot of work on the inside as well. They're still clearing up the last couple permits, but it's totally a transformation. Now
That's amazing.
I think that they bought the house next door to the right, which it'd be nice if something happened there as well. So we'll find out. I wanted to update you on, we had over 20 applications for my job. We weeded that down to 11. And then we went through that one and weeded it down to 4 people that we interviewed this afternoon. We have 2 very strong candidates. It's possible that the new person will be available at least to attend our virtual meeting in December, and maybe even, may actually be in the office before. And then it depends on what the actual schedule works out like. But I would say absolutely plan on a meeting on December 21st, because it'll be our Allen Boulevard project, the applicant that decided to postpone, but it'll also be the possibility of meeting the new coordinator. So, and then we are going to have a 1 month overlap with me and the new coordinator. And please pencil in January 13th between 4:30 and 7:30 as my retirement party.
Nice. Will we get an email about that as well?
Yes. Oh, yes. Once we get the details locked down, it will be. Yes, you will find out about it. Yep. Yep. So still working on the site. We've got it worked out, but we got a lot of details to work out yet. So I don't want to announce that yet, but it's a historic building.
One question for you, Sharon, on the last applicant. Are they aware of what is possible for the existing windows in terms of if your condition is reasonable as far as refurbishing them, or are they under the impression that they have to replace all those windows?
They do not need to replace all of them. In fact, when I went to visit them, I gave them a copy of our video, Simple Steps to Working Windows. And I said, if you would like me to come over and work with you for a few hours and just kind of guide you through what it means to rehab a window instead of replace it, I would be happy to do that. Considering that Mark's just down the block, I may see if I can talk him into coming down, giving them a few pointers. But yeah, they do understand that they can't replace any more of the windows unless they can document that it's in really poor shape, and you know, that they probably will want storm windows, because they told me, well, I don't like the look of storm windows. Well, I'm still, yeah, that we have to work on that. So he has lots of options. The Jorge is actually a contractor. He does new construction. So he's kind of got a big learning curve going on here.
He's got some skills, but as far as the old homes, that's going to be new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
So,
good to have them in the neighborhood. We need young bodies.
Yep. And they aren't entirely sure, because it was a 2-unit, whether they're going to keep it as a 2-unit and live in one and rent one, or whether they're going to just move into it, or whether they're just going to make it a rental. They haven't made that decision yet. Part of that depends on the answers they get back from the building officials to make all the details correct.
Sure.
So.
Good.
Yep.
All right. So do I call the meeting closed? And then I was going to make, well, I can't make the motion, but I'll ask someone to make the motion to adjourn. But then after the meeting, I was going to just chat with you real quick, Sharon.
Okay.
Too.
I'm good.
So does anyone want to make the motion to adjourn?
I'm happy to do that. I move to adjourn our meeting today.
Thank you. Any second?
You can do that, Dan.
Oh, well, yeah, I second that. Let's just do, if you approve, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? No, none opposed, so I move the meeting to be adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Dan.
everyone. Thanks so much.
Hey, Sharon.
Yes.
Sorry to